I was thinking that that's definitely going to be a penalty.
Something is going very wrong inside 23XI Racing. Bubba Wallace just lost a second-place finish at Atlanta, lost 27 points, and got into it with a fellow Toyota driver, and instead of backing him, his own team co-owner Denny Hamlin went public and took the other guy's side. Let's back up, because this was one of the strangest race nights of the whole 2026 season. It happened at the Quaker State 400 at Echo Park Speedway in Atlanta. This race was supposed to run on Sunday, but rain and lightning showed up and forced a red flag that lasted more than 3 hours. The race dragged so late that it didn't even finish until early Monday morning. The checkered flag didn't wave until almost 2 in the morning on July 13th. On top of all that, the race went to overtime, so everyone was tired and the ending was pure chaos. For Bubba, this night mattered a lot. He came in sitting 12th in the standings, about 83 points above the playoff cut line. That sounds safe, but it really wasn't, because there are only a handful of races left before the playoffs. Every single point counted. There's also one thing you need to understand. At big tracks like this, there's an unwritten rule that Toyota drivers help each other. They draft together, they push each other, they protect each other. Nobody wrote it down, but in the garage, it's basically the law. Remember that, because by the end of this, that rule is in pieces. The first problem came at the end of Stage 2. Bubba was running 6th, fighting for stage points. Behind him, Ty Gibbs in the number 54 Toyota was coming with a huge run. Bubba moved down the track to block him. But blocking here is dangerous, because the cars are going so fast that a driver behind you can't just vanish. Gibbs had nowhere to go. He hit Bubba square in the bumper, and the number 23 spun off the track and slid through the infield grass. Just like that, Bubba's stage points were gone. But Bubba didn't quit. He fought all the way back to the front. He actually led 11 laps and raced with the leaders, showing his car was fast enough to win. Then came the last lap, and everything fell apart. Bubba took the white flag running 3rd, right behind Ryan Blaney and Carson Hocevar. He saw one shot to win, so he shoved his car to the bottom and tried to make it 3 cars wide down the backstretch. But while he was fighting for room down there, his car slipped below the double yellow line at the bottom of the track. That line is basically the out of bounds of NASCAR. Ryan Blaney ended up winning, which was only the second Cup win for Ford in 20 races that year. Bubba crossed the line in 2nd and thought he'd earned a great finish. That happiness lasted about 30 seconds. NASCAR looked at the replay and ruled that Bubba went below the line to gain a spot. That broke Rule 8.7.2a, which says passing below the double lines to move up your position gets you a black flag, so they dropped him all the way from 2nd to 29th, the last car on the lead lap. Instead of a big runner-up finish, Bubba walked away with just 9 points. Bubba was furious, and he did not accept it quietly. He went to his hauler with his crew chief and his competition director to look at the data. Then they walked over to the NASCAR hauler for a meeting that lasted about 31 minutes. Before he went in, Bubba said, "We're going to fight it." His argument was simple. The rule says you can't go below the line and gain a spot, and Bubba swore he did not gain a spot. As he put it, "I stayed 3rd, and I was all over the brakes to make sure I did not advance." He even said the move hurt him instead of helping. In his words, "That move should have propelled us to the lead, and it didn't because I knew it was wrong because my car did not like that move." And here's the cruel part. The data showed Bubba was hard on the brakes, actually trying to give the spot back. It also showed that Ty Gibbs, the same guy who wrecked him in Stage 2, kept pushing him from behind. That push shoved Bubba from 3rd to 2nd while he was still below the line. So the driver who spun him earlier was the same driver whose bumper sealed his penalty. NASCAR still said no. Yellow line calls can't be appealed. Bubba left the hauler and simply said, "A penalty is a penalty." Now, NASCAR explained their side too. A guy named Mike Ford broke it down on a podcast. He shut down Bubba's "I gave it back" argument right away. Ford said giving the spot back doesn't matter at all. If you go below the line to race and improve, that's the violation. There are no takebacks. Then Ford pointed out a moment almost everyone missed. He said on the replay there was a split second near the start-finish line where Bubba was actually running first. And since it was the last lap, if a caution had come out right then, Bubba would have been named the winner. To NASCAR, that proved he advanced his position. Ford also said even if that had happened, Bubba still would have been dropped to 29th. Here's the surprising twist. You'd expect the team to storm out screaming after losing 27 points. Instead, NASCAR praised them. Ford shared that NASCAR's Elton Sawyer said the team couldn't have been more respectful. They could have come in guns blazing, but they stayed calm and handled it like professionals. Ford also admitted the rule isn't popular, but said racing at these big tracks would be a lot worse without it because it stops giant wrecks. Then came the confrontation. After the race, Bubba and Ty Gibbs met on pit road. Gibbs walked over to apologize for the Stage 2 wreck. It did not go well. Bubba told him, "There's an opportunity to give, and you didn't." Then, when a TV reporter asked if the two Toyota drivers were okay, Bubba dropped the line everyone talked about. "But yeah, that's Toyota teammates. We don't race very well together." Gibbs fired right back. He said, "I went to tell him sorry because he cleared himself, and then unfortunately he showed a lot of disrespect." And while Bubba left with 9 points, Gibbs finished 5th with 38 points and now sits 4th in the standings. This is where Denny Hamlin walks in, and his spot is almost impossible. He co-owns 23XI Racing with Michael Jordan, which makes him Bubba's boss. But he also drives for Joe Gibbs Racing, which makes him Ty Gibbs's teammate. No matter what he said, he was going to upset someone. On his podcast, Hamlin took Gibbs's side. He explained that a block is fine, but only if the other driver doesn't have to slam the brakes. And in this case, the speed difference was just too big. As Hamlin put it, if Ty does get on the binders there, he puts himself in danger to help you. And I don't think anyone is signing up for that. But here's the fair part. Hamlin wasn't just picking on Bubba. He also called out his other driver, Tyler Reddick, saying, "I was a little upset with the 45 as well." He held both his own cars to the same rule. And Hamlin actually defended Bubba's last lap move. He said it was Bubba's only real shot to win. He explained drivers can barely see that yellow line, comparing the flat bottom of the track to a landing strip for an airplane. Still, he agreed the penalty was correct, saying, "That's definitely going to be a penalty because I've been penalized for it before." Now the damage. That one penalty cost Bubba 27 points. He fell from 12th to 13th, and his cushion above the cut line shrank from around 82 points down to about 55. His playoff bonus dropped from 20 points to 15, and William Byron jumped ahead of him. He's also finished outside the top 20 in 6 of his last 9 races. As Bubba himself said, "Everyone behind us in points is like, oh, 23. They see that and are licking their chops. With the position that we are in, we're not safe." And the next test comes fast, at North Wilkesboro this Sunday, with drafting tracks like Daytona still ahead. Places where Bubba and Ty Gibbs will have no choice but to work together again.